What's going on, guys? It's the next day here. I kind of went ahead and cheated a little bit and got started before I brought you guys on. Trying out a new tool. I don't know if you can see it over there on the grade stake at all, or I should say the straw wattle stake. But this is a, let me look at the brand, Vevor, whatever brand that is, pile driver. Pounding these stakes in. Had a little bit of trouble with this morning. I filled up with oil at the shop, tried pulling it, and it just wouldn't go. So I messed with it here a little bit, and for some reason there was oil in the cylinder and the air filter. It was leaking out of every orifice. Just a mess. Took the plug apart, took the head off, or the valve cover off, I should say. Drained the oil out of that. The air filter, when I squeezed it, was just soaked with oil. It leaked in my case. It was just a mess. I got the spark plug dried out. I pulled the cylinder a couple times with the spark plug out, got the oil out. It was even coming out of the exhaust, and finally I got it to go. I let it run for a bit. It was just puking white smoke, and it was just oil everywhere. But knock on wood, it actually seems to be pretty straightened out now. I ran quite a few stakes in the ground already, just trying to get the hang of it. So yeah, we're going to probably put on the chest mount, get you guys some POV shots. As you can see, so where this tool is now to this point are driven in the ground. These ones on or not, I just stuck them in the ground. We're doing 5 stakes per wattle, because they're supposed to be 5 feet apart, 25 feet, so that's 5 stakes, roughly 5 feet. I mean, we're not getting too technical with it. We're trying to drive them as deep in the ground as we can too. Some of the ones back there aren't as deep as I'd like them, but you can see this ledge here, so I'm sure we're running into rocks or whatever. Shout out to Collins and Sons Excavation out of Wales, I think they are. I was talking to him over Instagram because I tagged him in my story that I got that, because I had seen that they had basically done the same thing as me, where they're running a bunch of straw wattle, and that's a tool they bought. They actually got the better one. They spent like $3 grand on that, on theirs. I spent like $300 on mine. Like I said, I figure if I can at least get one job out of it, it's paid for. But yeah, they went and bought an expensive one, and they drove their stakes in, and it went well for them. So he was telling me that when you drive them in, you can't hold it too long or try to drive it when it's basically not moving, because you're going to break the connecting rod that connects from the crankshaft to the pile. There's no shear pin, and I guess he said he has a friend who is a small engine mechanic, and he said that he sees it all the time when those guys just hold it on, they're trying to get it deeper, and it ends up shearing it. So I'm trying not to go too crazy with it. I mean, obviously you got to give it a good try, but you don't want to break anything either. So it's just as deep as they're going to go. I mean, I know just by hammering them manually for years that you can only get them to a certain point sometimes before that's it. So I think as we get into the field here, it'll probably get a little easier for us. I don't know about the woods. I have a feeling we're going to run to quite a few routes in the woods, but we'll do the best we can and try to get it done here. So we got the skid steer fired up. I got pretty much all my stakes in there. We're just going to bring the skid steer down and basically use it to work out of it with our tools and whatnot, instead of going back up to the truck every time, because we got quite a bit of straw wattle here. I don't know if I told you guys yesterday, but we were supposed to do 1,025 feet. We actually have a fresh pallet still that's about 300 feet left over, so we're going to tarp that and just leave that here, and then as we make progress on this job, we'll straw wattle things that are dug up, because the engineer plans call for repairing the straw wattle, but also sustaining it throughout the project with piles and stuff like that when we're working close to the wetlands. So I'm sure we'll need some of it. I mean, we'll burn it up. So when we get piles of dirt, we'll just kind of throw them around it, and we got that. So not the worst thing to have extra, but we ended up going all the way pretty much around the whole septic area, which the plans never called for. So we did more than we were supposed to, and we still had some left over. It called for 1,015 feet, I think is what I did in my takeoff software, and ended up being probably close to 700 or 800 feet. So we're about, yeah, we're 300 feet extra. So with added coverage. So that's a win there. So yeah, we're gonna get done yapping here, and we'll put on the chest mount and we'll show you guys what we got going on. Probably do time lapse like always, and then yeah, see you guys in a bit. All right guys, Hope you guys can see that good. Let me see. That's not bad. All right, throw our gloves on here. We actually went past where we are, but we'll walk up to it. It's not a big deal. Yeah, when I was running that thing before, it was like popping out of the exhaust, and it hit me like oil when you're cooking on a stove there. When you pour oil in the pan and it pops out, it was hitting me. So I know a lot of you guys will probably say, oh, you're supposed to fill up to a certain amount. I looked in the manual. It came with a little cup. It didn't say anything about doing 1 cup or 2 cup or how many was in there. So I just stood it up, poured the oil in the funnel until it came out of the filler on the threads there, and that's it. I mean, compactors, everything I own, that's what the manual always calls for, is do it till it comes up that little area and it's good. So I don't know what this thing's deal was, but hopefully whatever it is, it's done doing it. But get our earmuffs on here, fire this thing off, and you guys can check it out. That was a good one. Why does it get stuck? Wow. Some of those wouldn't go in because of the ledge, but just freak them out. The engineers aren't going to check every one. What the hell was that? Come on. Oh shit, come on, really? These freaking stupid freaking stakes. Oh, you son of a bitch. Actually, now we can go. Boom. Boom. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Freaking thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ooh. That went in right by itself. It's a real important feature you don't want to miss is the ends where they overlap. That locks it in nicely. This thing's still dripping oil everywhere. Doesn't look bad, actually. This thing is flying through fuel like I figured it would. Alright, I'll take a little more of a break here and then we'll pick up on it. We'll probably do a tripod shot and then at some point we'll do a time lapse. Alright guys, that was the last of it. This whole section here is just all added. Way down there is where it really ended before on the plans, but I had that roll that split open over there, so I had to finish it off and just brought it a little further. So yeah, but we got all the way down there, all the way up there, back towards the house, all the way over to here. So I think it was right around 900 feet. Yeah, so like I said, we got 300 left. But yeah, we got it done. Glad it's done. And we'll be here next week. Be on a septic job tomorrow and the rest of this week. And yeah, so we will see you guys tomorrow. I got to clean up here a little bit. Tarp that freaking straw wattle, and I'm out of here. Nice early day. See you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, coming at you another late one. I got here this morning. They dropped my 1.5-inch stone, and then I got a call about that Beckett job that their alarm was going off and they wanted me to check it out for them. So I ran up an hour away from here to do that, an hour back. Now we are back on the job site, getting actual work done. So like I said, we got the stone dropped, and then we have to cut in our ramp here. So I just took the skid steer bucket, made some marks, that way we know how wide to dig it, and then we'll dig our ramp, slope it back, and then we can get in there with equipment, because the D-box is going on that further side. So starting on that further side, working our way back. So that's what we got going on here. We're gonna dig that ramp right now and get cranking here. I'm not sure if this thing was even on, or if it recorded it, but I got the ramp cut in here. Machines down in there. It's pretty steep, but it is what it is. So now we will start setting up our elevations here, set the D-box, and start running lines hopefully. Alright guys, the end of the day here. I didn't record too much just because stuck on the phone all day and kind of everywhere, but cranked out, got this D-box set. Lines are ready for tomorrow, so we'll connect to those tomorrow and just start running our laterals with stone. And yeah, so considering today we had to drive an hour, stuck on the phone all day, and had absolutely nothing but people bothering us, it's actually not a bad day. Got that done. Would have been further along if I didn't have so much to do today, but it is what it is. We'll get it done tomorrow, crank down. Should hopefully have 2 runs in tomorrow. I'd be happy with that. Then Friday we can finish off the field, and then next week connect the field and call for inspection. So with that being said, we will see you guys tomorrow. It's starting to thunder, so we're getting out of here early. It's supposed to thunder and rain pretty heavy, and I felt a couple raindrops, so it's gonna get pretty nasty. It's yeah, went from hot, blistering heat to cloudy and thundery and rainy pretty quick. So it's only an extra half hour early. So Alright guys, well, the last clip my camera overheated. It's been kind of overheating all day, so that's probably why. I don't know how this is gonna come out, but if there's not a lot of footage, that's why. But we pretty much got the field done. This is the last bit of the row right here. We ran short on stone again, so we need to bring in some more stone next time we're here. But we got the job site tucked away for the weekend here, and until we get back here. We'll be back here next week, Wednesday. We gotta go back to the other job, get the big machine up there, and start digging the foundation. I gotta work on that machine this weekend, get it ready to leave before it goes up there for a while. And then we'll be back here once we get the foundation dug to finish this job up. We're gonna connect the D-box to the tank, which is over there, finish up this field, stub out the vent right there. We'll leave it there for inspection. When we backfill, we can cut it in here, stick it in the woods. But yeah, that's it. It really sucks with the stone thing. I keep running into this. It was a smaller field than even what I've usually done, and usually I have just enough to do the bigger fields, and I figured I'd have more than enough for the smaller field, but same thing again, short on stone. The elevations are a little wonky, but when I ran them against the plans, because I rechecked everything, so that could be the reason why too. But I know the gravel bank that I get my supplies from recently got sold since basically last year, and I think the reason why we're running a little bit low on stone is because rather than last year more than normal is because the last owners, I think, ran the trucks a little heavier, and these guys shared the side of caution or run them at legal weight, to where we're just that much short on stone. But not a big deal. It's just a 550 load, but I'm just gonna have to keep that in mind now for whatever field I do, just to bring in a little bit more. I know the last few jobs I did, I've always been short pretty much all year. I keep running into it, so, but I'm trying to figure out kind of how things are now and work with it. So like I said, this one was smaller, so I thought for sure I'd have enough, since all year I've been just barely short, and those have been bigger fields. So yeah, there's the stone pile. I mean, you can see it's all gone. So and not much though, so we'll either have some brought in or bring it in ourselves. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. Not bad at all, and these are all set at the correct elevation. Everything's good, everything's pitched right, so yeah, I can't really complain. We'll go from there, but we will see you guys next week at the other job site. Have a good weekend, guys. And actually Unadilla's this weekend, so I'll be headed out to Unadilla. I'll share some footage of that in the next video. But yeah, we'll see you guys later.